Welcome to Cloud Pink Podcast. I'm Atlas, and this is Tanisha, my coach, which I feel like you guys have heard some little bits and bobs. So she's here finally.
I'm here finally. Yes, I'm Tanisha, aka Empress, um, the founder and CEO of Your Other Mind. It is a growth and implementation agency for women and queer folk. Anybody looking to scale their full life cycle, make their visions happen. That's what we and my team of fractional COOs do. And yeah, I'm excited to be on the podcast.
Yeah.
The podcast. Yay.
I mean, you're like so much of the reason why this podcast even exists. So
that means so much.
yeah. And like so much of my growth and stuff in the last like year, all my friends have seen it. Now they can.
Oh, I love that. Makes me really
is
happy. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but it makes me really happy. So thank you for sharing that with me.
Of course. So basically, I just was saying we'll start with like me kind of asking you some stuff because we're always like talking about me. So I am always curious to actually know more about you.
Okay.
So you always talk about growing up in New York. So can you tell more about that? Like, what was your childhood like?
My childhood was really, really interesting. I actually used to really hate this question for a number of reasons, but I'll get into but my childhood was really fragmented is the best word I can use to describe it. So when I was like 6, we moved from New York to Georgia. Now,
Oh, okay.
the problem with that, the reason why I don't like telling this story is because it gets kind of dicey, right? People like to discount and try to tell you where you're from and where you grew up and where you were raised. But okay, imagine a whole host of cousins. You are one of, like 16 grandkids that are all of the same age, right? And one day you just get ripped from your family and brought from another state. Well, you and your siblings are going to cry a lot and be upset a lot. So what your parents are going to do is bring you home a lot. And so my mom was a travel nurse for the majority of my life.
Cool.
So from the ages like 6 to 13, we were back and forth to New York off like all the time. And I don't mean like just like when, people are like, oh, I went for winter break. No. Like my parents would take me out of school for like a couple months at a time. They would finesse something up there and I would like go to school up there for like a couple months and then I'll come back. It was like really disorienting. So like I would say it was up until like maybe 13-ish before I can say that I was like settled here for real.
Oh, okay.
So, but that's not what you asked me. That's what came up when you asked the question. But that's like, so was the question, what was like growing up in New York?
No, like, yeah, what was your childhood like? So yeah, this is the
Oh yeah, my childhood it was just really interesting because I never really belonged to one place, nor did I really belong to one culture. I'm also mixed, so like I'm Jamaican and Guyanese. I'm first generation American, so I never really belonged to one place.
You're Guyanese too. That's so cool.
I am Guyanese. So my dad's from Guyana, my mom's from Jamaica, and I'm kind of American, but also not really. I'm kind of from the South, but definitely not really. I'm mostly from New York, but also kind of not really. So like, but my growing and the places and the experiences that shaped me happened in New York. So yeah.
What borough were you in?
You said what?
What borough were you?
Brooklyn.
What neighborhood?
Cypress Hills, East New York.
Okay. When I lived in New York for a little bit, I lived in Bushwick.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How long did you start?
Like 6 months when I was 18.
I love that.
Yeah. Brittany gave me a New Yorker card when she was on the podcast.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you have that? You remember like an MTA card? You know they retired that this year.
Oh yeah. Actually, when I visited, there was none of those cards, and I was like,
what?
I'm
in New York. That's it. That's
yeah.
it.
That's like the AI generation, like.
And I hate it because
like, I know what that is.
Yeah, there's an artist, apparently, this old man in Manhattan who I guess he used to always buy like a shit ton of Metro cards and he makes art out of them.
Oh,
Google it.
cool.
Like,
Yeah,
no,
I
like he makes
will.
like real art. Like he has like in his apartment, the video that I saw as they were talking about the Metro card being retired, he had like boxes on boxes on boxes of Metro card cards that he would cut up and make into art.
Yeah, what's he gonna do if they run out? Like,
I think he might have bought the last bit. I don't know, girl. But because
oh,
they definitely retired that card on the 31st of December.
maybe he'll start buying old cards from people and stuff.
Maybe. I don't know. He's old too. He's like 70. No, he's older than that. That man's old. That man's old.
Oh, I
It's
will look
cute
it up.
though. His art
Yeah.
looks really good. Yeah, yeah, I like it a lot.
So let me think of another question for you. We might have to cut it out if I can't think of something for a second.
What I like about when you ask questions, you always kind of like blush as well. So it's always I just think it's like because I want to know what part of you, where do you go in that part of you
yeah.
that lets you ask questions, but it feels so like full circle. I don't know. It feels like a full circle moment.
Oh, I don't know. That's a really cool question. Yeah, I feel like my questions come from a deep place, but I don't know. Like I
Think
usually
about it.
have this like sense of deep curiosity about people, and then I feel like I should suppress it or something a little bit because people don't be like asking as much as I want to.
Yeah.
And then, but lately, since I'm doing hair and stuff, I'm like realizing that it's such a strength and I should just ask because like that's how you keep a good conversation going and like have a good conversation. And a lot of people don't know how to do that. So I'm trying to like lean into it more lately.
You know, that's funny because I also feel like people don't ask good questions, nor do they answer deep questions. But I've always been really good at getting people to tell me their business and answer my questions.
Yeah, people
And
are.
yeah, and I don't know what it is about me. Like, growing up, my mom would say I was like a puppy. But then, like, when I was like in my teenage years, we would go like restaurants and stuff, and I'm like always asking like the hostess way too many questions about their personal life. And then she used to always be like, you don't have to answer any of her questions that she asks you. Like, you really don't have to answer any of them. I was like, Mom, but I just want to know. And they were like, no, she's fine. I'll answer her question. And I think it's just like the conviction of like being asked a question, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That makes it, a thing. I have a question.
Go for it.
Do you, so do you, I want to ask you a question. Do you edit these?
I do.
Okay, great. My mom's kept calling. Okay, babe, pass the phone. Babe, pass the phone. Okay. She was calling, so she called my partner, so now I gotta answer. What happened,
Oh,
Mom? What happened?
Get her on tonight and go send the money to you. She got Doraville somewhere in Doraville.
I gotta go get her.
If you can't go get her film.
All right. So what I need to do?
Kirk is gonna send the money to you. 570 or some shit like that.
Call Kirk. He's gonna send the money to me. Got it. Okay. Can you send Kirk's number? Huh?
They will let her on tonight. So.
Okay. Can you send Kirk's number to Sabrina's phone? I'm in the middle of an interview, and y'all messing it up.
Sorry.
Okay. Bye. I don't know how to end the call on that. Okay.
that's so funny. I feel like that shows so much about you too. And like you're such a family person, I feel like.
I am, but no one knows it. Or at least people
Yeah.
don't. I don't know if people think of me.
Yeah. I feel like I see that you're a family person, but I don't feel like you talk that much about it normally, at least not in like your business setting and stuff. So I am actually curious about like what your relationship to your family is like and like what your family's like and stuff.
So, great question. The reason why it's a great question is because last night my partner's mom realized that my whole family's in Georgia with me, and she was like, "I didn't know that." And I was like, "Do I not talk about that?" I was like, I know, I guess." And I don't know. And okay, so I'm the youngest. of 3. I have 2 older brothers. So I'm the only girl. Like, I'm the only natural girl in my family. Why did I say it like that? I mean, like, I'll get to why I said it like that. But I'm the only girl of my parents, my mom, my dad. My mom, my dad are married. They've been married for X amount of years. They're still married. My oldest brother is 12 years older than me. And we had different dads, but my dad is his dad too, right?
Okay.
And my next brother, he's 2 years older than me. He gets my freaking nerves. We fought a lot as kids, but we get along great now. We're like best friends, but like, you know, like don't touch me kind of way. Like, don't touch me. And so I think my mom is my best friend. I can literally call her, tell her anything. My dad is also my friend. I'm actually a junior, named for my dad. So me and my dad had the same exact initials. My mom wouldn't let him name me exactly after him. So he's Terrence Andrew Yorick. I'm Tanisha Andrea Yorick. He once
Oh,
named me
cool.
Terry with an I, but my mom wouldn't let him. So I'm just
Good
Tanisha.
job, Mom.
Yeah. Good job. And so my dad gets on my nerves, but I love him very much. It's just he's a Libra, I'm an Aries. We just kind of just like, but we're close. And my mom's my best friend, as you can tell from that phone call. And I don't talk about them, I think, because I am the most mature out of all my mom's kids. I like to think that I'm the adult. I taught these humans how to say I love you. I taught these humans how to show love. I have a shit ton of nieces and nephews, literally from the age of like 27 to the age, if you include my grandnieces and my grandnephew, 27 to like the age of 1.
Dang.
So,
that's amazing.
it's pretty lit, ain't it? You know?
People with big families.
Yeah, my dad is one of 16.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, one of 9 in his family. Then my grandfather cheated a lot, and then my mom is one of 6.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a big
I have
family.
one sister that I call my sister, but she's technically my older brother's sister. So we didn't meet each other until I was like maybe 17, 18.
Okay.
No, a little bit later, like in my 20s. And so now I call her my sister. It's like if I talk about my big sister, I'm talking about her. And she's 10 years older than me. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's the question I was gonna come to is tell me something about like teenager Tanisha.
Teenager Tanisha loves to fight. Oh,
I knew I was like so looking for this.
Oh, teenage Tanisha was a prop. Talk about angst. Talk about frustration and a sense of righteousness. And I love to fight. I still love to fight. Most people don't know that about me. I do a lot of work to make sure that I don't end up, because I have a business, I have a brand. Yeah. Personally, I think that if any of my clients ever found out that I got arrested for slapping somebody, they would totally be down with it anyway. They would probably sign up more because of my personality. But yeah, teenage Tanisha was an angsty. I want somebody to hug me. You know, I need somebody to hug me.
Yeah.
Just kind of like, I didn't have a chip on my shoulder, but I was very much like, I'm from Brooklyn. I ain't got time for this. I'm from Brooklyn. Brooklyn. I was very much like that. And I was really smart. And I don't like bullies. So, but then like also my mom was traveling a lot. So I was deeply emotional and deeply like in introspective. I've always been that way. And so I think that just makes a really angsty, emotional girl who doesn't always know how to say things with her words, a little anxiety, a little bit of anxiety, like a little dusting of anxiety on top of there. You know what I'm saying? But she was cute. She's always down for a good time. She partied hardy. She studied just as hard. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I love teenage girls.
I love teenage girls. And so like I really love my nieces and nephews because, you know, they're annoying, but like just because they're teenagers, you know what I'm saying? Or like young little people. And so I just be like, most of the time they just want to fucking hug. And it always works. They'd be like, oh, this is the vibe. And I'll be like, shut the fuck up. That means nothing. You're saying things that mean nothing. So you want to hug? You want somebody to hear your feelings? Because that's what it's giving. And you can just fucking say that. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it was to me.
Nice. Oh, I love to hear that. Yeah. I feel like most people that are really cool adults were like kind of like fucked up teenagers. At least a little bit. Yeah.
A little bit of a black rose in a garden, a little bit of a of an outsider, a little bit of
Yeah.
that was me for sure. Like
Yeah.
100%, like lying. Yeah.
Well, that makes sense because isn't misfits like one of your like words for like your like perfect client?
It has been, yes. When I was a teenager, I was like 17. I was like on a step team. I attract a certain type of
Oh,
person.
that's cool. That's so sick.
I attract a person who does not typically fit into boxes, which is great because I don't fit into them really either. Like I'm really hella smart, love to fight, love to cuss, like, hair, nails, all things. I just don't really look like what my experience says on paper. And
Mm-hmm.
so for me, I remember being like 17, wanting to be like a debutante, but being like, ugh, debutantes, fuck that. Like also kind of having that kind of mentality. And I was
Yeah.
like, you know what? Fuck that debutante shit. Like it's too expensive. Girls can't really do it. And if you do it, you have to be sponsored by like a Delta or like somebody who's in D9 or whatever. And I wasn't shitting on D9. I love them. But I wanted something for girls who did not fit in. So I remember being a 17-year-old and outlining this thing called the Black Rose Society, right? And it was going to be, just like
Oh.
group of young girls who were in middle school and high school who needed to do debutante, but like instead of wearing white dresses, they wore like red dresses, right? And it was like,
Mhm.
this is how you be a debutante as yourself. And I like wrote this whole program out at 17 because I just want something to, I never made it, but I was like, okay, when I get to college, I'm going to do it because then I'll be a college student and then I can do it with the kids, because I won't be a
Yeah.
kid too. But I wanted to do, I think people should be celebrated being themselves. And I
Yeah.
think people should be celebrated for not doing what's popular or right. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? A little anarchist.
I feel like if you ever change the business name again, the Black Rose Society is really good.
Yeah, and it wasn't even about like it wasn't even about color. It was literally about I wanted
Yeah.
all my little reject friends, all my little weird, don't really fit in
Mhm.
friends to have a place that they felt like they could belong and put on like pretty dresses. You know what I'm saying? And like really like show up
Yeah.
as themselves and go through like a rites of passage. I do think women deserve rites of passages, but like
Yeah.
it doesn't look like the cliche, I'm trying to be something that I'm not. That's my
Right.
thing.
That's so beautiful. I love that so much.
Most skincare tries to fix your skin with chemical band aids. I grew up learning real formulation from my grandfather, blending Indian ancestral practices with the art of perfumery and chemistry grounded in nature. Every ingredient we use is chosen with intention. No toxins, no endocrine disruptors, no shortcuts. Just earth based, evidence backed elements that help your skin heal, rebalance, and strengthen on a deeper level. This is skincare that honors your roots, supports your body, and respects the planet. Rooted in culture, made for everyone.
So
Hey,
then how did you like come to I know this is like skipping a lot, but like how did you come to start your company?
oh, that's a great question. It's a layered question. I don't get to tell this story often, but so you know this, when I was 16, I was shot and I died and I came back. And that's
I
relevant.
don't know that much about that. I just know that it happened, but I didn't know when it happened or anything like that.
Oh, okay, yeah, well, I'll tell that story a little bit later, just because if you ask me again, I'll tell the story. But I did die and I did come back on like in the
Damn.
same night. And what I thought was just like post, you know, when I was 23, post-traumatic stress disorder and anxiety, it was like this whole other thing. But um I went to college. I never went to therapy after the shooting. I just went straight to college, was doing my thing. I was majoring, double major in marketing and managerial sciences. And I
Oh,
really found that I really
where
like
did you go to
logistics.
school also?
Georgia State University.
Okay, cool.
I'm really proud of my alma mater. I'm not an alumni, but I'm really proud of it.
Oh.
But yeah, and I've had 17 jobs in my whole entire life. Like I counted from time I was 13 to like the last time I had a job, it was like 17 or 18 jobs. And in college, I did like hella different things to like make sure I always have money in my pocket because I love to work. And I would always find myself in like logistics, or like operations or management, but I was always making something better. And so around the time that I heard I got married, like had my nervous breakdown when I was 23, where I got diagnosed with PTSD, was around the time I really in my career. And I had like started working for Amazon. So I took all my years of experience in random things, marketing, HR, entrepreneurship, the things that I knew how to do, and I went to Amazon. Worst mistake ever. But it was cool because like I learned so much, you know what I'm saying? And basically I kind of figured out that I have a love for systems and strategy. So like the pieces that people don't see. Why this is relevant to me being shot and PTSD is because it helped me heal my journey. That journey is how I ended up starting this company. So I remember I was quitting therapy. I quit therapy like around age 24, 25, somewhere around that. I must just turn 25. I was in therapy for like a year. And I realized that in therapy, I wasn't getting any better. And my, I'm a spiritualist. So I went to like my ancestors and I was like, what's up? And they were like, they're like, all those processes that you build at work, all those things you fix at work. They were like, well, every spirit has that too. Every person has that too. You got to find out what yours is. And I was like, oh, so if you have like this career that's happening, plus this like awakening that's happening, that's essentially how this came to be. Right. So like, I started with like being a coach, just like a life coach, and I got clients randomly, but I was always working in my career in operations still, growing companies, scaling them, whatever. I was doing both. And over time, it just got tighter and tighter, right? And then I left Amazon. I had some clients. I joined some tech startups, and I was like, okay, well, I'll just consult. So then I got some consulting clients, again, while I'm working these jobs, whatever. And then like 4 years ago, probably like 4 years ago now, I got laid off. My first ever layoff. Never been fired in my life. First ever layoff. And
that was from Amazon still, or?
No, this was with a company that did short-term luxury rentals. So like an Airbnb, but like luxury, like way more expensive than Airbnb. And I built their like whatever department. And from there, that layoff, my husband at the time, my ex-husband now, but he was like, you could either go back to work, try and find something, or you could just do what you want to do. And I just took a chance on just doing what I was going to do. But what your other mind has become, right? What your other mind has become has been like this. It is a growth implementation agency, but it's really about what each soul was designed to do here in their lifetime, and helping them have the foundation to do that, and helping them have what they need to do that, and the strategy behind that for them. So that's how I end up here.
She wanted to come say hi. That's so cool. I love that. I mean, I bet at the time, like when you got laid off, you felt so like scared and everything, right? But it was like probably the best thing that happened.
Absolutely. Girl, I cried on the couch for like 2 months straight because you could not tell me I didn't get fired. They were like, oh no, but layoff's not the same thing. And I was like, I never even been fired. Like, I don't even know what you mean. Like, it felt like the world was ending. But I look back and I'm like, so glad I did it. I'm so glad I never looked back. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So how was that transition like into kind of the moment where you started feeling like you were in alignment and you like felt like it was meant to be and you were doing what you were supposed to be doing?
I had to have some real conversation with myself because like, remind you, I would get like life coaching clients off of like Thumbtack when I first started doing stuff. And I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I was like, oh yeah, come talk to spirits. I do a tarot card reading and we'll talk once a week,
Yeah,
and I
can imagine it's hard to tell people what you do. Like,
yeah. And so the transition was bad. It was hella weird because again, I was crying on the couch after running a company that made millions, and like my process is getting them to millions of dollars because I built their whole department. They didn't have an operations excellence department, which operations excellence in any organization is about growth. Which what that means is we assess and study the whole organization, and we'll tell you what strategy you need and what place to make that thing grow. Right. So I didn't help this company make millions of dollars to doing nothing. And like I had to remember, like, hey girl, when you had nothing, when you were just stressed and struggling or like whatever, early on in your career, people trusted you to come and give you real money. Like people came when you didn't have anything. So like now you have all this experience of all these years of like fixing systems, building them, whatever, you definitely can do it. So it was like a lot of come to Jesus moments. It was like really challenging. I got in some women's groups, some business groups, stuff like that to help me like kind of clear the noise and kind of decide how I was going to exist. But again, it was still kind of hella weird because I was doing it fragmented. I'll be like, oh, I'm a little spiritual stuff over here. I'm a little business stuff over here, I
Mhm.
wasn't really myself, but I was more myself than I had been. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it was interesting. It was when I look back, that was really interesting. And then my ex-husband believed in me a lot. He believed in me a lot. So
That's
he
so
invested the
helpful.
money. Yeah, he invested the money for me to get what I needed, like as far as like
Oh,
resources and like trainings and things like that. He was really there for like the leg up until I closed my first couple of clients.
oh, that's sick. I love that.
Yeah, it was
It does
lit.
make such a big difference when somebody believes in you.
Yeah, I've always been really good at attracting really good partners.
Hell
So
yeah.
if he sees this clip, shout out to you because I love you so much. Thank you for being my
Oh, yeah. I love him too because I really benefit from your business existing.
Yeah.
Let
And
me
now
live
my
my.
new partner carries me through to the other side, which is like this upgrade that we're in.
Tell me more about that.
Um, the way I've been explaining it to people is that like I feel like my company is at the truest expression of itself, you know?
Ooh.
Yeah, it's big. And so what that looks like is merging like coaching, consulting, and results. Like like there is no such thing as a bad entrepreneur. What there is an entrepreneur who may not have the resources. There's an entrepreneur that does not have the time. There's an entrepreneur that has to get themselves off the floor from crying
Mhm.
about some shit that's related to some shit that's related to some shit. And so
For
like,
real, yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
I do.
entrepreneurs, they just gotta keep moving. But a
Yeah.
lot of them don't have the ability to keep moving all the time because it's just them. Or it's
Mhm.
them and a team that relies on them. Or it's them and an enterprise that relies on them. And so like the thing that I always want to help people do is keep going. And so like
Yeah.
I feel like with this agency model, we get to help people keep going, right? I get to check in with you every week and say, okay, what's
Mhm.
on the list? Did you get it done? You need a
Yeah.
resource, you need a person, what do you like? So we're doing things a little bit different from like what traditional fractional COOs do. They usually come in and just tell you what to do. No, we are coming in to tell you and to do it with you. Oh, you're
Yeah.
having a day where you can't get it done? Great. Let's talk about it. Oh, what's the things? Give us the things that we can help you. Because the idea that like women businesses or career businesses don't grow anymore past 5 years, no, we're not doing that. We're
Right.
retiring that. So this is like our opportunity to do that. And I think it took me a really long time to get to this place where I'm like, I'm okay giving you the labor. Give us the work, we'll do it.
Mm. I love it so much. Yeah, like I think something that's so different about what you do too is like you're like, okay, let's talk about what you did and didn't get done because we can actually unpack why that was and what we need to like move in, like whether it's
Yeah.
internally or externally, that's going to get you from this place to the next place, not just about like, oh, let's use like shame as a tactic of motivation or something, basically, which I think is like
Yeah.
really common and is actually like the opposite of what like sensitive artistic people like need to move forward.
Yeah, I think all humans, because growth is not linear. And this idea that like has been pumped through society is that growth is linear and it's not. Like you need
Yeah.
to know why you didn't do something as much as you know why you did do it. Because
Mm,
the didn't is what you can strategize for, it's what you can solve for. You know, it's the X of the equation. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so this thing
yeah,
that people want to do it, like hustle through it. That's not real. That leaves a
right.
whole person out of the conversation.
Yeah. Like last week we were whatever it was that I didn't get done, I was like, oh, it really was just because I didn't have time. And then you started asking me some questions and then it turned out to be this like it was just this thread that like unraveled to this like super deep thing that then I was like, oh, I'm like
It was your creative
always
session. You didn't
yeah,
want to be a kid. And I was like, but you love fabric and clothes and
yeah,
creating. Why wouldn't you want to do the creative session? And I was
yeah,
like, yeah, you got to talk about that, you
yeah.
know?
Because like obviously there was so many blocks and it turned out the block was like basically having just like a disconnect between like being in my like soft, creative, joyful space and doing work. And then it was like I was never like connecting those because it would be like, well, I have to make it work, which is an unpleasant thing, right? So yeah, it was like a huge
And
break.
why is work an unpleasant thing? Like I was telling you, I had to redefine what work was for me, for Tanisha's spirit, for the spirit that occupies this body, because it wasn't making sense. I was feeling like hella resistance or whatever. And so I was like, what actually feels like work to me? I was like, oh yeah, client facing stuff. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, well, client facing stuff. So like me talking to my clients, that feels like work. I have to do stuff for them, doesn't really feel like work, but talking to them because I use a lot of my projector life force, that is
Mm-hmm.
work for me. And then I was like, okay, well, what relationship do I want to have with work? Do I want it to be this thing or do I want it to be something else? And so like
Right.
y'all don't know, but I used to have like a whole routine to get me ready to do readings and coaching calls and consulting calls because I wanted to change my perception of work as it related to me.
Hmm.
And then
What kind
anything
of
that
stuff
wasn't
did
work
you
was
do?
playtime. Hmm?
What kind of stuff did you do?
Oh, so I used to save my like showers till right before I shower like morning and night, but like I used to save like my showers like facials until right before I had to go on a coaching call, right? To give
Okay.
myself that like set like there's something new happening, something I could walk
Mm-hmm.
into and like something I could get dressed for and be excited about. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to
Yeah.
set that energy. Um I used to do prayers. I used to go to my ancestors specific kind of way. I would change my clothes, like anything to like change the essence of what was happening. Play
Yeah.
music, right? A certain playlist I used to have for certain tasks, like client facing and revenue generating things. That's work to me,
Mm-hmm.
And then things that relate to my business. I said, well, if I didn't call it work, what would I call it? And I said, I'll call it play. That's like creating, ideating, building a chat. That's all
Mm.
playtime to me, right? There's
Yeah.
nothing dependent upon that. No one's waiting on anything from me, but that's like things that move the business forward too, but honor me, you know?
Mm. Yeah, that's cool.
So like
Okay,
when I saw
another
you talking about your creative sessions, I was like, girl, better go
yeah,
create something.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, totally. And I actually was doing it right before this, so it
I love
worked.
that.
Yeah, it did. I'll show you what I was drawing and stuff. Okay, but what I was gonna ask is a lot of my friends and stuff have been very intrigued by and inspired by the idea that you had us doing these like big breakthroughs. The idea that you shared that it's like everything that you want to create is because somebody else was praying for it. Can you like
Yeah.
tell the people more about this idea?
Okay, so this idea does not belong to me. I'm just really good at recycling and sharing it. The idea comes from the Happy Pocket Full of Money book. This is just because
Okay.
people listen to the show. But I was reading in there and it was about success. And the lesson that I share with my students and my clients is that in quantum physics, in quantum theory, it is told and understood that all things that will ever be created are all created at one time. What you don't have the ability to rock with is like the awareness of everything at one time. So if you're focused on point A, you'll only see everything related to point A. But point B, C through Z, they all exist as potentialities or like actual situations, depending on what's happening.
Okay.
And so what he was saying was that because that is true, then your ideas are never random. The things that you desire to create don't, they're not randomly coming to you, right? He
Mm-hmm.
says that it is someone's desire that caused this thing to be created, right?
Mm.
And it's like this infinite thing. It's like this infinity. If you believe in like multiple timelines and quantum fit theory and stuff like that, you'll understand that because they desire it, you created it. Because you created it, they desire it. Both and all are true.
Okay.
And it basically explains that, again, explains away causality. Like all these things exist, just a matter of where you attune to at any given time. And so I find that when I read that, the words that he said was like, you desiring to read this book and learn about wealth one day is what caused this book to be written because you would need it one day. And I was like,
Mm.
"What?" I was like, how many of us would like show up to something if we knew that the whole reason you have that desire to create that reel or to create that book or to write or to make that piece of art is because you knew that someone was desiring it. They didn't know it was going to be you per se. They might not even know it was ever going to be you, but they were desiring that thing that caused that thing to be created and vice versa.
I love it.
That's
I feel
the
like
idea.
it like takes the pressure off of you as an individual, and it becomes more about like the collective and like the
Yes.
collective sphere of creativity and like how it flows between us and stuff.
Yes. And I think that people care more about people than we are willing to admit. And that's also why it makes it easier. Because like, again, even for me, I was like, oh shit. So it ain't about me. No, it's not. It's not about you and like what you can do and like who believes, if you believe. It's not about that. It's about the people you want to serve. Okay, well, fuck it. Then that means I gotta do as much shit as I gotta do as quickly as possible so the people who need this can have it. It ain't about me.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because even like with your business, like I feel like there's been many moments where I've been like, I just really want some like cool girl who gets me to be like teaching me how to do business, but with this like spiritual lens and like bring it back to all that stuff and creativity and like just help me expand and help me like be authentic and be myself. And it's like literally what I want, what you do, you know?
And as I watch you, I'm like looking at you grow in real time, you and the other clients, because what y'all also all needed was somebody to be like, hey girl, what you do this week? Right?
Yeah.
It's not an accountability partner. People call it it's not accountability coaching, it's COO coaching. Have you worked towards your goals? This is what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? And like, and someone to do it with you that's not going to judge you or micromanage you, but it's going to hold space for the things you need.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you can be a weirdo about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Being
Oh,
weirdo about it is definitely one of the big things too. And just like the validation of like, and kind of deconstruction of like all the overcomplicating that we do all the time. You know?
Like I didn't go, girl. Like it could be like I didn't do the sales call because I had an emergency versus I didn't do a sales call because I started crocheting and I got tired. I took a nap and I ate a snack. And then I'm like, okay, so let's talk about this crochet and this tiredness. Is there a new desire? But like, you know what I'm saying? It's a different conversation.
Yeah.
But you have to kind of have a weirdo to hold space for a weirdo. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Because we don't have to judge that thing. But this thing that we do, we're like, oh no, I didn't do it because I had an emergency. Somebody's gonna punish me. No. You didn't do it for whatever weird reason, and we're gonna talk about that weird reason.
Right.
Take a strategy, because are you avoiding? Is it like what's happening,
Yeah. I really love in the like the quarterly planning, you had us write this one time like something like, what about the things that you didn't achieve this quarter are like actually the blessing, or like what is, I don't know how you worded
I
it.
think I know what you're talking about. It was, I don't remember the exact words, but it was basically a question that makes you ask, what of the things you did not accomplish last quarter, what of that was actually a good thing?
Yes.
It's essentially the context.
Yeah.
I like that question too. Okay, why do you like that question?
I liked it because when I was like writing down the answer, I realized there was good things in it. And it kind of just was like such a reframe and such a release of like shame and just like this kind of consistent, like uninterrupted by society generally mindset around like just like productivity being like the highest standard for like whether something's good, and like just like the linear nature of all of that, like life isn't a assembly line.
And productivity has flow. Everybody's productivity is different, and I think we're conditioned to be like, oh, everything's shit. We're conditioned to judge ourselves and harm ourselves. So it's like, oh, I didn't get this done. I didn't get this done. It's like, okay, but why didn't you get it done?
Right.
Like, if I would have signed, like, I was thinking about this today. I was actually journaling about this. I was thinking about a coach. Like last year, for everybody's listening, I got divorced. I was going through the upgrades and the releases and the shifts that come after divorce. And I had a coach at the time who was like, I can help you with your sales stuff. And I was like, okay, cool. You're a friend of mine. I'll do it. Like, I'll pay for it. I'll do it or whatever. And I didn't complete any of the stuff. right? I did, and I was like journaling about this today, and I was like, why? Like, but then I look back on those months, and I'm like, I was going through a lot of shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know who I was, and then what I did know was I did not want to sell into the container that already existed, so I just avoided it,
Yeah.
right? And I was like, I told myself I'm gonna apologize, reach out to that lady and like apologize, for my journey and just let her know like your stuff works. This is where I was. But the point I'm getting to is like, if I had been ready for those clients at that time, I was like, oh yeah, let me get those clients. Come on, clients, come on through. What would I have offered them? It was a blessing to not receive those clients because I would have spiraled. I would have shamed myself. I would have guilted. I probably would have actually closed the doors of my company. You get what I'm saying? It would have been a completely different experience for me. And so it's like, I got to avoid that. I got to heal in my own time and space to where now, 6 months later, I have the exact clarity that I needed to know exactly what I need to do. And I want this agency model. I want the coaching container too and the consulting container too, but I want my company to be filled with top level COO clients. So as many people as possible that need to be in a container that is reasonably priced for them can join it as quickly as possible.
And that's really sick. And that's something that I feel like is unique and cool about your company too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's a lot of things out there like that. I mean, yeah, there's the coaching industry is like, there's a lot of different directions it goes. So
yeah, and that's why like getting away from the coaching aspect and be like, I'm a consultant, because I am, right? Anything that I build, now the person has to do it. I will be really clear.
Yeah.
Like I'm a COO. I will tell you step by step what you have to do to make an outcome happen. But everything I've ever designed from its inception, from out the gate, Amazon, small tech, big tech, whatever, $360,000 minimum out the gate. Revenue generated, profit earned, money saved, right? And that is a track record that is across my career that has by now generated into millions of dollars. But that's out the gate.
Yeah.
So I'm saying from day one launch of a thing, of a process, that process makes $300 and something thousand, right? You know what I'm saying? So like, so I'm a consultant who happens to coach. I'm a consultant who happens to be a fractional COO, and I'm all of those things at once because people need a little bit more than just one thing.
Yeah.
Coaching, but not really doing it with me don't really help me because then I'm just stuck in a shame spiral when you're not on the call. I'm beat up on the call. The call's great. Then I'm by myself and I'm by myself. Consulting is cool too, but like you don't really help me with it either. And I don't get to talk to you about my feelings because you don't give a fuck.
Right.
What am I supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? So like it's both,
Yeah. I think that's what makes it like so powerful too.
I
feel like one of the things about that was making me think of too is just like how you're kind of constantly just trying to help people get more authentically connected to themselves. And that's like kind of what that question is for too, that helps you understand like what about it is a good thing that you didn't get it done. Like as you go in the layers of things like that, a lot of times you realize maybe some things weren't actually what you wanted, or like you said, the timing wasn't right of it, or your desires have shifted. I think one of the ones that I realized at the time too was something about like, oh, like when I went into this goal, like I didn't know what it would take to achieve it because I hadn't achieved it yet. And it just might be like a bigger project than I thought it was, or like, take more time. So it's not necessarily like a failure. It's just like, oh, you didn't know that that's actually like a year-long project because you hadn't done it yet, for example.
To that point, one of my favorite internet witches, she has a video where she was like, you're told what you want. People don't know what they really want because you're told what you want. Like you're told to want that car, you're told to want that house, you're told to want those things, right? Because we're all conditioned. And like, so to your point, I 100% agree. Because how do you know your desires from the desires of other people versus like your most authentic desires versus like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and they have levels. But unless you let yourself actually go for it, for 90 days, you won't actually know until, you've gone for it for 90 days.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh shit, I'm on day 14. I don't want this at all.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, that's how you figure shit out. And that's how you get more successful and deconstruct ideas of who you once were.
Totally. Yeah, I feel like my dreams have shifted so many times, but at the same time, there's kind of like, that's the other piece of it is like, as I get further and further into authenticity and the core of it, like the core of the dream is like the same. And kind of like what I want to create is always like, it's always surrounded by like creativity, community, like certain things. But the expression of it, how I visualize it, has changed a lot over the years.
I would say, as someone who's known you for a long time, it hasn't, like, you have refined it. You
Yeah.
have gotten more crystal clear because you actually end up at the same things all the time. It's
That's
just the
true.
method of how you end up at the same things and like what you're willing to like put on the line first. And that's what I love to see, right? Because again, growth's not linear, but you end up like, threading the needle. You end
Yeah.
up, that's what I have watched you do. Because clothes have always come up, podcasts always
Yeah.
come up, storytelling has always come up, but it's like you let yourself have it more.
Yeah.
And
That's
see
true.
that it all integrates into your life in an easy way. And I would say the same thing for myself. Like I let myself have it. Nothing's changed for real. I just got more specific, more on the head. I'm back to the Black Rose Society somehow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As a 33-year-old queer bitch, I'm back at the black. How the fuck did I get back here? But it's all me. Same journey.
Right. Because that Black Rose Society is so authentic to you too. You like saw something unjust and you're like, I want to create an alternative that actually works.
Yeah, and it's
For
not that
people.
different from what I'm doing now. It's
Yeah.
it's like this is a rites
Yeah.
of passage. This is the same shit. It's just like we're just doing it different, and that's how you know that like business shit is a soul's expression, right? It is what your spirit does when it feels whole and seen. It wants to share things with the world because we all had something to offer one another. So like, how quickly can we do that? You know what I'm saying? That's what the agency is about. How quickly can we get your shit to who you want to get it to? You know?
That is beautiful. Yeah, I feel like business is kind of just like the like kind of the mode that we have like at this day and age.
Yeah. I think for this version of Earth that we all chose and we all collectively agreed on, that we was like, oh, business makes sense. Let's talk that because capitalism. And that's cool.
Yeah.
So we just talk it. And it's just like, okay, but we could do something else. We could just be eating berries. Yeah, we could, but we chose this. So we just talked through this or whatever.
Yeah.
We talked through our careers and our businesses. That's what we talked through because it makes sense. But whatever. As long as we're doing what we're supposed to do, it's fine.
Yeah. I mean, I do feel like business is also a hero's journey of the soul. Like it is such a challenge. And I feel like it's been like it's interesting to know maybe why does your soul be called to different things? Because I think on one hand, I wanted to create like my business and stuff for the people that wanted it, like we talked about. But I feel like on the other hand, my soul also was just like wanting to go on the journey and the challenge of how much I would transform to create that.
Yes. As a spiritualist, right? It is, we all have work that we were sent here to do, journeys to have, experiences to have, but more than anything, a benefit to be to one another, right? Something that you are to do, Florence Solution, something you are to do that no one else can do, somewhere that you are to be, no one else can be. Like you are created for that. And so it is your soul's journey. It is something that you pick to grow you, to change you, to adapt your spirit to the many incarnations that it'll take, right? So it is a soul's expression because it's how you get to sharing whatever it is the creator wanted you to share. That's it. And again, when you think about it like that, it's like, oh, well, shit, ain't a whole lot of pressure there. You know what I'm saying? There's not a whole lot going on that's like really requires me to be super serious, requires me to be like suit and tie, unless I just want that because I just like that. But like, if you don't really want that, then why are you doing it? you know?
Yeah, it's kind of just uncovering the layers of yourself and getting back
Yeah.
to being yourself.
One of my hardest sessions that I've ever had was a time where I have session with people and I'm like, they're like, oh yeah, we work 9 to 5. And I'm always like, and I remember one client, I said, why? And she burst into tears. She did not
Dang.
know. She was like, I don't know why I did that. I said, because I asked her, I was like, why would you create the same thing that you were trying to escape?
Right.
And she burst. She was like, I don't know. I thought it had to be. And I was like, yeah, again, your soul journey, what you need, what you desire. That's what we're here for.
Oh, I love that so much.
Okay. Well, I love you very much.
I
Thank you
love
for your time.
you. Thank you
Let
for
me know if
being
you need anything
here.
else from me.
Oh, tell
And
people where they can find you.
oh, you can find me at the TheNattyEmpress. Actually, the Nazi Empress is the portal to everything that I do. So just come to at TheNattyEmpress, and you'll find my link in bio, and you can find everything that I do and find your spot in my world, because it might not be your other mind. Okay?
Yeah, perfect. I love you so much. Thanks for being here,
I
Tanisha.
love you too.
Good luck with the family stuff.
Thank you. Bye, girl.
Bye.